Guys, check this out. This right here is the air bolt. Quite simply, it's the most intelligent and secure smart lock ever made. Know your valuables are safe 24/7 when you use it because it's right on your smartphone. It's packed with state-of-the-art security features, and AirBolt lets you easily protect and monitor your belongings right on your phone. You always know where your luggage or your backpack, your laptop is, and who's handling it, and it secures your bags while you're at the gym, at work, on your couch, wherever you are. With AirBolt, you'll feel complete peace of mind anywhere you go. Easily lock and unlock all your AirBolts using the free app on iOS and Android. Simply use a backup code if something happens to your phone. Control all your locks from the app, including luggage, backpacks, briefcases, gym lockers, storage, and more. AirBolt alerts you if someone walks away with your stuff. Can't remember where you left it? Use the app to check where it was last seen. Grant access to anyone from anywhere in the world with various levels of permission and security. Keep cybercriminals out of your business with industry-leading AES 128-bit encryption in every lock. Using a unique key, TSA agents can lock and unlock your AirBolt without having to cut or damage it. Whenever your AirBolt lock opens, it records a detailed history of when and how long it was unlocked for. The lithium polymer battery lasts up to 1 year per charge and includes a standard micro USB cable right in the box. It's built from heavy-duty metal alloy and stainless steel. AirBolt is weather-resistant too, so you're ready for anything. Know your valuables are safe 24/7. You can get it by going to www.getairbolt.com. Don't forget, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee and a 1-year warranty. Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News. It is with a heavy heart that I announce the death of another former guest, Zak Paine. Zak Paine was a former Hollywood actor and someone who apparently had many demons that we did not know about. He was a bit of a controversial figure. I had him on the program because I thought that despite those controversies, he would still make an interesting guest, and I wanted to see what I could find out about him. Zak apparently took his own life after jumping from a northern Arizona bridge. It says here that Zak Kappy, 42, has been identified by the Arizona Department of Public Safety as the man who jumped to his death at the bridge near Belmont, Arizona on Monday. Kappy forced himself off the Transwestern Road Bridge onto Interstate 40, where he was struck by a Ford pickup truck, DPS spokesperson Bart Graves confirmed on Tuesday evening. Graves confirmed Kappy was an actor based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, who had small roles in movies such as Thor, Terminator Salvation, and Beer Fest. We don't know why Mr. Kappy took his own life, Graves wrote in an email. I did think that it was strange that this ad was prominently placed on the story. This was the same avatar that I used for U.S. Forestry Non, who's also no longer with us. Now, no matter what your personal impression of Zak Kappy is, I do think that it's tragic anytime someone leaves this earth in such a manner. We don't really understand exactly what happened yet. There is a video that he made several days ago talking about perhaps, his reasons for taking his own life. However, in this video, he states that he is not suicidal, but he does lament time and again that he has done something that is essentially unforgivable, and that he is in danger. I don't know if that's in danger from authorities or in danger from an individual or other people, perhaps. We're going to take a look at a suicide note that he wrote that is actually dated for July 4th of this year. So it looks like potentially he was planning to take his own life. However, it's a mystery at this point. He does say on several occasions throughout the video that he is very, very sorry about whatever he's done, that he eventually will tell people what it is. He intimates that perhaps he must leave the country, and he also says that he has betrayed the movement. He says that in a suicide note as well. So, whatever happened to Zak Kappy, I think that it's a sad thing to see, and I would highly suggest that anyone who is having issues with depression, or maybe people who have made poor decisions in life and feel that there's no way out, remember that there always actually is a way out, and there are people out there who are willing to help you. So I hope that Isaac is at peace, and I hope that there's no one around him that is in danger based on any actions that he might have taken. But rest in peace, Isaac Kappy, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at that note right now. Bree sent over this post from Isaac's Instagram, and it's fairly revealing. He says, this is posted 2 days ago, it looks like. Well, here it says it was posted 1 day ago, but when I look at it on my phone, it said it was posted 2 days ago. He says, hello. Over the course of the last week, through introspection that should have happened many years ago, I have come to some stark revelations about my character. It is a testament to my utter arrogance that these revelations have not come sooner. You see, I believe myself to be a good guy. I have not been a good guy. In fact, I have been a pretty bad guy throughout my life. I have used people for money. I have betrayed many people in much trust. I have sold drugs. I have tax delinquencies. I have debts. I have abused my body with cigarettes, drugs, and alcohol. I have been abusive to people who loved me, including my family. I have expected help without putting proper work in to help myself. I have used money to gamble and lose instead of using it to further my gifts. Earlier this week, I committed an act so flippantly, without thought, that will become synonymous with short-sightedness and petty, vile greed, and in the end has cost me everything. I will publicly disclose the details at the right time. You see, while I supposedly wanted to make America great, I have not put much work at all into making myself great. I have wasted much money on speculation and gambling, and I have gambled away my future. Time that could have been utilized to nurture my many gifts has been wasted on frivolity. And while it's true I have spent many, many hours of research and disseminating information about bad actors, I have cared so little for introspection of my own actions. It is a testament to my sheer arrogance that I have not come to these revelations sooner. To the Q movement, I am so sorry I have brought shame upon the greatest military operation of all time. But really, I have only brought shame upon myself. And while it's true I have outed many pedophiles that were former friends, I have remained in their sphere for much longer than I should have and attempted to gain from them after I knew about their actions. And in my sheer arrogance, I did not even reflect on this fact. I have been a great betrayer of trust, a squanderer of gifts and goodwill. Our favorite Anon says that give people enough rope to hang themselves, and I have hung myself. I have told people in the Trump administration that I am willing to admit to my many crimes in a public setting and committed to execution in a public setting. A nation cannot suffer its traitors, and I am no exception. To those I have inspired, keep up the fight. It is noble work. However, I have not been a noble man. I am an impostor. To those who have offered their trust and care, I apologize. I have wronged many people throughout my life, and while I have many talents, I have not utilized them. To Jesus, I am sorry I have betrayed you again. This time the shoe is on the other foot, though, and I am happy the earth shall see the justice it has waited so long for. Jesus, you offered so much, and instead of reveling in your wisdom, I used my attention on darkness. President Trump, I have betrayed you and squandered goodwill, and I now shall forever be known for my actions. These revelations have come way too late, but I am not so arrogant now that I would deny them. In the end, I shall be remembered for my actions and not my hollow words. To the many people I have acted abusively towards, I am very, very sorry. To my former friends I have used and betrayed, I am sorry. I am very, very sorry. To my former friends, to those I have deceived, I am sorry. Although I must say in my sheer arrogance I did not even realize that I had been the bad actor all along. And while it's true, I threw myself into a very dangerous situation, outing the truth of Hollywood, I did not reflect on my own truths and many, many shortcomings. It is one thing to know what is right, to know the truth, and an entirely different thing to act in an upright manner. I have been lacking in gratitude, humility, honor, service, and proper care for others. I have not honored the light of God within. Also, it should be noted that I recently have been made to believe that I am the reincarnation of Judas Iscariot, the great betrayer. And while I could have utilized this period of the Great Awakening to awaken myself, I have used it focused on the darkness of others and not the darkness within. To be clear, I was so arrogant that I did not see the darkness within, or even reflect that I could have darkness within. I actually believed that I have been acting upright. It is very, very sad, and I hope that the people of the world can utilize my folly as in a positive light, that you all may use my mistakes as an example for personal growth to see the light in others. Nurture the light in yourself. This lesson has come too late for me, but perhaps it can inspire you. I will be using the remainder of my time on earth to atone for my transgressions and to seek the light within, in others and myself. Dated July 4th, 2019. Return of the King, return to the light. And then he comments here, beware the man that has nothing to lose, for he has nothing to protect. Well, I think that over time, we may come to find out exactly what he was talking about here. It sounds to me like perhaps he had a gambling problem and perhaps also a problem with drinking and drugs. It also looks like Isaac was very, very remorseful about the actions he had taken in his life, and perhaps thought that he had more time to atone for them. Like I said before, we're all human beings, and no one is perfect. We've all committed transgressions. Just because you have acted poorly in the past does not mean that you cannot atone for that in the future. I would highly suggest that anyone who is considering taking their own life think about that. Think about how they can use their time on earth to benefit others and to atone for the sins that they themselves have committed. We are all, none of us, without sin. But I think that perhaps for some people, maybe the sins they have committed are just too much to bear. I do want to say that I find it tragic anytime someone seeks to take their own life. I also want to say that we don't actually know that Isaac took his own life. I think it's possible that there may be other factors at play here. We don't know anything at this point. We only know what's been reported, and that has been a very, very small amount.
I woke you up to a new level. Well, you know, I feel like I've done a lot of good. I've done a lot of good, and I have been really brave. I have been brave, but the darkness consumed me. Whose trust? Everybody's. Everybody. I know everyone loves me, and that's why it feels so because I've betrayed you all, and I'm not a patriot. I'm not a patriot. I was a patriot, but I'm not anymore. Can you forgive me? I hope you can. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. I hope that you can realize that I hope that you can realize that although I have a lot of light inside, I also have a lot of darkness, and I didn't tend to the darkness. Thank you, Pachyderm Princess. I didn't tend to the darkness, guys. I didn't make peace with it, and I didn't learn how to come to the light, right? How are you going to find out? I don't know. Maybe this will get. Maybe Q will post this. You're shocked. I'm shocked too. I'm shocked too, guys. I'm shocked too. Temptation is a motherfucker. Temptation is a motherfucker, guys. Temptation is a motherfucker. And if it's something little, and you do it, and then don't think about the consequences and like who might be affected by your decision, then you're fucked. When did this happen? It happened this week. No, it'll be newsworthy. Yeah, no. You feel sick. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Did I put you in danger? Yeah. Don't give in to cynicism, guys. Don't give in to sin.
All right, on to the big news of the day. Now, if everyone here has been watching me since the beginning, you'll know that on January 15th of this year, I produced a video called Special Prosecutor Found, Meet U.S. Attorney John Durham. John Durham, it was discovered, was already investigating the leaks coming out of the FBI, and in specificity, the leaks from a former FBI attorney, James Baker. In that video, I discuss the fact that we had been told previously, what if there was another secret U.S. attorney with a mandate such as Huber? And I postulated that John Durham was that secret attorney. Well, it's now come out that Attorney General Bill Barr has appointed top special prosecutor John Durham to investigate the origins of the Spygate scandal. Now, John Durham is perfect for this for several reasons. He is now the lead on investigating the origins of that Russia probe. He's a U.S. attorney from Connecticut, and he will be examining the origins of Spygate according to a new report by the New York Times. But, of course, as I said, if you've been watching my program, you already knew that. Mr. Durham, he was nominated by President Trump in 2017. He's got a history of investigating potential wrongdoings among national security officials. And IG Michael Horowitz is also investigating the FISA abuses in a separate probe. But Bill Barr stunned the Democratic media complex last month when he said that spying did occur during the 2016 presidential election and vowed to get to the bottom of it. John Durham is just the man to do that. Bill Barr said, the question is whether it was adequately predicated, and I'm not suggesting it wasn't adequately predicated, but I need to explore that. And Barr opted to give a U.S. attorney the assignment rather than allow a special counsel to look into the origins of Spygate. A special prosecutor has more day-to-day oversight. Now, Obama and Hillary used the might of the U.S. government and targeted the Trump campaign during the 2016 election, as we well know. Of course, the FBI opened a series of illegal CI investigations into Trump officials and sent spies to various campaign volunteers like George Papadopoulos and Michael Caputo. Obama's FBI and DOJ also obtained a FISA warrant and 3 subsequent renewals on Trump campaign advisor Carter Page, someone who had previously been an informant for the FBI. Hillary's phony dossier was used by the FBI to spy on Carter Page, the salacious and unverified dossier. It's widely believed the FBI also had a FISA warrant on George Papadopoulos over his work in the energy business with Israel. This is precisely why the Democrats are attacking Bill Barr. House Democrats just voted to hold Bill Barr in contempt. They were well aware of the fact that Bill Barr would go ahead and actually use the might of the United States government in the manner in which is predicated by law to get to the bottom of the illegal operations previously done by the former administration. Now, we've got several stories about John Durham here, and it's going to flush out his background and the reason why he is going to be so good at doing just that. And as I stated previously, John Durham has already been investigating former FBI hack James Baker for leaking that information to the press. Now, John Yoo appeared on Laura Ingraham last night, and he had some very interesting things to say, really told us why the Democrats are going to be very worried. And that's because of the exact experience that John Durham has. He is known for investigating political corruption as well as organized crime. So due to John Durham's experience, he's got a unique understanding of criminal activity and the type specifically that occurred in the FBI and the DOJ. That's why the Democrats need to be very worried. We're going to go ahead and take a listen to that story right now. We're going to go ahead and take a listen to that clip from John Yoo on Laura Ingraham next. All right, so here we have a tweet from my friend Methods, and he was kind enough to clip out this video. So let's take a listen.
Will they try to smear John Durham now? Will there be any way for them to do that, given his utter professionalism and integrity and the wide-ranging experience that he has on government corruption issues?
If I were the Democrats, I would be quite worried. And the reason why is by appointing a U.S. attorney, Attorney General Barr is essentially signaling that he thinks it's possible that criminal violations occurred in the start of the whole investigation into any kind of Trump-Russia collusion. As Judge Starr said, there's already an Inspector General investigation going on that's going to come to a conclusion. That's what you would do if you were just interested in reforming the way the department does things, the way decisions were made. But you wouldn't go with a U.S. attorney like Durham, someone of his stature, unless the Attorney General thinks actually something criminal might have happened, that someone might have violated the law, that there might have been malfeasance, that people at the FBI or the Justice Department were acting out of partisan motives, not just out of incompetence or stupidity, or they were duped by the Russians or Steele or the English or by the Clinton campaign. So if you were a Democrat, I think you would be really worried to see the appointment of a career prosecutor like this.
The look on Laura Ingram's face, that smile. Because she knows just as well as we do that the Democrats and the people in the FBI and the DOJ certainly were acting out of partisan politics and out of actual physical hatred for Donald Trump. There was absolutely no reason for them to do what they did unless they were acting in that manner. So it is exactly this reason. Bill Barr understands that this is what happened. He understands how and why this information and this investigation came to the forefront and actually took place. This right here is why the Democrats need to be very, very worried, because John Durham is above reproach. There's absolutely nothing they can do to bring this guy down. This is the guy who put Whitey Bulger away. This is the guy who is going to tear down this house of cards, this Russian collusion delusion. And we're going to find out exactly how everything happened and who exactly was involved. John Durham is about to run this investigation into the ground, and we are going to find out absolutely everything. These people need to be very, very worried. And apparently, it's not something that just took place. He's been investigating the Spygate scandal for weeks, working directly with IG Horowitz on FISA abuses. Now, the media was stunned yesterday after it was revealed that Barr has appointed Durham to investigate the Russia probe. And we know that he was nominated in 2017 by Trump, and he's got a history of investigating wrongdoing among national security officials. But he started weeks, if not months ago. He's been working on this into the origins of the FBI CI probe from Trump-Russia collusion delusion since at least as long as January. It's also been revealed that he's been working closely with Clowns in America director Gina Haspel, the director of national intelligence Dan Coates, and FBI director Christopher Wray on surveillance issues related to the Trump campaign. This suggests a broader interagency effort is underway. Now, Fox News also learned that Durham is working directly with Inspector General Michael Horowitz looking at those FISA abuses. Now, Horowitz is in the final stages of his investigation into the FISA abuses that took place during the 2016 election and is reportedly close to releasing his final report. Now, the former administration's corrupt FBI and DOJ used Hillary's phony Russia dossier to obtain a FISA warrant and 3 subsequent renewals on the Trump campaign advisor Carter Page. The first warrant was issued in October of 2016, just weeks before Election Day, and the fourth on the final warrant was granted in June of 2017. Then DAG Rod Rosenstein and FBI Deputy Director McCabe both signed the June 2017 FISA warrant on Page, 1 month after Mueller was appointed as special counsel. And it's widely believed that there were also FISA warrants on General Mike Flynn, Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort, and Trump campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos. However, none of that's been publicly confirmed. But now, with the appointment of Durham to take a look at this directly, I believe all of that will be publicly confirmed. It's not going to be long, and we're going to be seeing that. Now, if you'll remember from post 2776, we were given a conversation which took place between Bill Barr, Robert Mueller, and Rod Rosenstein. I'm just going to go through it because it's going to highlight exactly Bill Barr's state of mind. Now remember, Barr said, "Bob, show me the evidence and reasoning for why this investigation was started and is still going." Mueller replied, "With regards to the president, we have found no links or ties to any foreign entity, etc." Barr responds, "Mandate was clear. Verify and investigate reports of possible foreign collusion between president and Russia." What justification existed to effectively launch a massive domestic and foreign surveillance campaign against the president, president-elect and president, and members of his transition and campaign team? Steele dossier, along with media corroboration of those findings. Barr responds, was the Steele report a trusted and verified report per intel to continue, especially considering the funding party was the opposition party? Mueller responds, those facts were never taken into consideration. FISA court was granted authorization to conduct based on conclusions presented, so only based on what they were told. Barr responds, was the FISA court made aware of all details surrounding the dossier? Mueller responds, no. We believe there was urgency placed on the authority given the gravity and timeline of events that those involved negated to populate fully. Barr responds, why were efforts made to continue investigating the president, interrupt his official capacity in governing if the only doc presented was unsubstantiated and unverified? Why were questions and threat of subpoena communicated to the president if no factual foundation existed? All charges thus far are unrelated to the original mandate. Why are you still active and pursuing a crime if no verifiable evidence or evidence through discovery exists? Then Barr turns to Rod Rosenstein. What justification did you have to effectively expand the mandate, not report that expansion to Congress in order to seek a crime outside of Russian collusion? What specific reasoning and or facts existed to justify the appointment of a special counsel to begin with per the law? Why did you recommend to Sessions that he should recuse? Why wasn't the mandate and budget and regular updates provided to Congress upon request? Why is everything kept confidential and under inappropriate classification? Was the purpose of investigating to find a crime versus investigate evidence of a crime? Right here, from the beginning, Bill Barr understood that this was an illegitimate investigation, that everything that had taken place was simply a witch hunt designed to locate and entrap the president in some sort of crime that could be constructed and then placed before the American people. From the beginning, there was nothing, they had nothing, they found nothing, yet they continued to investigate, and this was an illegitimate investigation. How long ago do you think it was obvious to Robert Mueller that there was no collusion? Probably from the moment he started, because they would have already had tons and tons of information gathered from the FBI that the DOJ had put together, because I'm sure that they were trying to make a case for obstruction from the very beginning. This investigation was completely illegal and completely illogical because there was no crime. There was no predicate for any of this. And now we've got John Durham who's going to expose that and bring the people who are guilty to be held to account. And on that note, we see that the deep state hacks are in major panic because of John Durham investigating Spygate, and he was the one who brought the corrupt FBI Boston office to justice. So Durham was the one in charge of investigating the Boston FBI office during the Whitey Bulger trial, and he uncovered evidence that the FBI framed innocent men for murder and brought the FBI office to justice as a result. Right now, we have got the former leaders of the intelligence community in America in an absolute panic because Comey knows what he did, Clapper knows what he did, and Brennan knows what he did. The very fact that Durham is working directly with DNI Dan Coates, Clown Director Gina Haspel, and Christopher Wray, the current leaders of all three of these investigative intelligence agencies, should tell you that he is going to come up with all of the evidence necessary to prove that these three hacks acted in a completely illegal and dishonest manner. These guys are only going to be walking the streets for so much longer because very, very soon they will be brought to justice, and it's so sweet, you guys. Speaking more on that, Bill Barr is officially expanding the probe to an interagency effort with Durham working directly with Haspel, Coates, and Wray. And this is coming from a report by CNN. they must be very, very worried too. The reporter for CNN, Laura Jarrett, said that Barr is working closely with Haspel, DNI Dan Coates, FBI Director Wray on the surveillance issues related to the 2016 campaign. That means that this is an interagency investigation now, and it's more than just Barr, it's Durham as well. And I would not be surprised if you've also got Horowitz and Huber, all of them working directly together and bringing all of that evidence together so that they can really get a comprehensive idea of exactly what happened and when. This new development should not surprise any of us, none of us who have been watching closely, because we all knew that all hands were on deck to spy on Trump's 2016 campaign. We had John Brennan from the Clowns. We had James Clapper, the former DNI, and former FBI Director James Comey. They were all involved in promoting the phony Hillary-funded dossier, and they passed it around their various intel agencies. Now, Hillary's phony dossier even ended up in the IC report, contrary to statements made by Clapper under oath. Laura Jarrett also reported that the U.S. attorney tapped by Barr to investigate Spygate, John Durham, will be working with Barr on a 360-degree review of the situation. So what exactly is John Huber, the special prosecutor tapped by former AG Sessions, doing? Jarrett reported that Huber has been in a holding pattern as the DOJ IG completes review of the situation surrounding Carter Page's surveillance warrant, his work on Clinton wiretapping soon. This is why the Democrat media complex is viciously attacking Bill Barr. They no longer have control over the Justice Department because, unlike Sessions, Bill Barr is about the rule of law. Now, I do take umbrage with that statement. I don't think that Sessions was not interested in the rule of law. I think that it was necessary for Sessions to act as like kind of a sleeper cell so that everyone could feel that they were, they were at ease, knowing that, no work was going to be done, that it was business as usual, and that they were going to basically get away with everything they had done thus far. But while Sessions was acting like a sleeper cell, he appointed Huber, and Huber has been investigating Clinton and the Clinton Foundation and all of these things up until this point. He had to remain in that holding pattern because we had to get all of these final pieces into play. Bill Barr was the last final piece, and then he could bring everyone together. They can get this interagency investigation going, and now it's all going to come out. Boom week indeed. Now, Trey Gowdy has offered some advice to Spygate investigator Durham. He said that he should check Comey and Brennan's emails in December of 2016. Former federal prosecutor and Representative Trey Gowdy joined Sean Hannity on Monday night following the news that Attorney General Bill Barr picked Attorney John Durham to investigate the launch of the Trump-Russia probe. And John Durham, of course, from Connecticut, will be examining the origins of Spygate. And during his discussion with Sean Hannity, Trey Gowdy offered prosecutor John Durham some advice. Whoever's investigating this, tell them to look for emails between Brennan and Comey in December 2016. Let's go ahead and take a listen to Mr. Gowdy.
Are you convinced that there was a fraud committed against the FISA court withholding that Hillary paid for that dossier, and that, in fact, the bulk of evidence was unverifiable, and that they never verified whether anything Steele wrote is true? And did they do it to spy on the Trump campaign, sir?
Sean, I can tell you it is even worse than what you described. It is what you described in addition to the withholding of exculpatory information, which is what has Johnny Ratcliffe so exercised. And they made no effort to corroborate the dossier until after it had been used in the application and a renewal. No effort. It's not that they failed. They made no effort to do it.
Last question.
So whoever's investigating this, tell them to look for emails between Brennan and Comey in December of 2016.
Are you convinced that that phony Russian dossier bought by Hillary Clinton, created by Steele, that they lied to at the FISA court? Are you convinced they tried to undo a president, the duly elected president of the United States, and take him down?
I'm just going based on what Peter Strzok said. He thought he'd be the lead agent in charge of investigating this, said he thought Trump would be destabilizing, had an insurance policy, and then promised his lover that we will stop it. So you answer it.
Well said. You never lost a case, did you? Thank you, sir. Joining us now with more reaction.
Trey Gowdy never lost a case. He knows exactly what to be looking for. And I think that John Durham is also going to be on point with his investigation. He is right. those conversations between Clapper and Comey and Brennan even, all of them probably had some very, very revealing things to say to each other. I think that will more than likely yield some very, very wicked fruit for these three gentlemen. For these three people, we'll say. I cannot wait to see what John Durham comes up with. Now, James Clapper is already speaking out, deflecting on AG Barr's Spygate probe. He says, "We're losing sight of Russian interference," accuses Bill Barr of playing politics, maybe playing AG. Former Deputy Assistant U.S. Attorney General in the Office of Legal Counsel John Yoo told Laura Ingraham that the Democrats should be very worried. And on Tuesday morning, former DNI under Obama, James Clapper, joined CNN to discuss this new investigation of the deep state investigators. Clapper deflected and played stupid. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
What's your reaction to this investigation?
Well, in the first place, I would have thought the logical thing to do would have been to let the Department of Justice Inspector General investigation complete. What I've read, that it is nearing completion, so it seems to me the logical thing to do before launching off into at least one or two other investigations is wait till that one's done. And I know the DOJ IG is very thorough, and he's a critic. And he will have done a thorough investigation. So to me, in the first instance, it would have been more logical to let that play out.
Are you concerned here that these administration officials and the Attorney General are doing this for political reasons rather than for the existence of any evidence of wrongdoing at the start of this investigation?
You have to wonder about that. Is there a political dimension? This obviously complies with a longstanding request of President Trump that the investigators be investigated. As far as I know, again, thinking back, contemporaneously when I was DNI, I didn't see anything improper or unlawful. And I think we're losing sight here of what the big deal is, which is the Russians. That's what started all this. Yeah. The predicate for this was what the Russians were doing to engage with members of the Trump camp. And now we know that there were dozens of such encounters or attempts, many by known, identified Russian operatives. So to me, the implicit message is here, well, it would have been better had we ignored the Russian meddling, which I think would have been completely irresponsible.
So.
Sounds to me like Clapper is very, very nervous, and he is spending a fair amount of time deflecting. When in doubt, go back to Russia. Don't look here, look over there. Now, Clapper is in a world of hurt at this point because there is, without a doubt, lots of illegal things that took place under his direct watch. He took orders that put him in the position he's in right now, and he more than likely relished taking that action against candidate and now President Trump. Clapper is basically looking at many, many years in prison, if not worse. Now, in some upsetting news about the president, his motorcade was involved in an accident on a Louisiana highway and 3 officers have been injured. President Trump's motorcade was involved in an accident on Interstate 10 near Lake Charles in Louisiana Tuesday afternoon. President Trump's vehicle is fine, however. These 3 officers who are part of the motorcade are down and injured. According to CBS, the circumstances of the crash were not immediately clear. I saw 3 officers down on Interstate 10 near Lake Charles as Trump motorcade headed to Hackberry. 1 in grassy ditch, sitting up, 1 flat on his back on highway shoulder, bleeding, a 3rd standing up, bleeding from his arm. Our whole side of highway was closed to traffic. This is from White House correspondent for Bloomberg News, Jennifer Jacobs, reporting on that. Here we have some images of a downed bike, officer in the ditch right there. President Trump departed the White House Tuesday morning to travel to Louisiana to tour and give a speech at a natural gas export facility. The president reportedly ripped into Democrat 2020 candidates during his speech in Louisiana on Tuesday, calling Bernie Sanders crazy, and slammed Pocahontas for her low poll numbers. This is a breaking story, so please check back for updates. We'll hear back on this later if we do find any other information out. Perhaps this was another contrived event to specifically put the president in harm's way. I certainly hope that no matter what happened, everyone ends up being okay in the end, and we'll have to catch up with this at another time. All right, guys, we are now going to take a look at some thank yous for some people who sent me some things in my P.O. box. So please stick around for that. All of these people were very kind to send me these gifts, and I just want everybody to see what they are because they're really cool. So let's take a look. First of all, right here, we have this hand-knitted letter Q toothbrush rug. It's a toothbrush knotted rag rug. And it's from Brianna and Cindy at rugsontheroad.etsy.com, so you guys can go check them out if you want to. And they have a Facebook page, Seabreeze on the Road. Looks like they have an awesome RV that's all kitted out with custom paintings. I think that's really cool. They sent that to me so that I can use it at my desk to put my water or my coffee or whatever it is that I'm drinking at the time on while I'm doing my live stream. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Also, the people at Bayou Swamp Juice, they sent me these custom vape juices. This one they call Bomb Pop, and this one is Rainbow Lord. I believe that this one you can actually purchase on their website. And that would be this website right there, BayouSwampJuice.com. So these are really good. I like them. Thank you guys for sending them. They also sent along all of these little toys. Looks like they're in Louisiana, so this is some Mardi Gras stuff. I think that's pretty neat. And then lastly, my friend John Smarty Mendez sent me this charm from his company Holotech. John says that these charms are loaded up with the frequencies of various things. So he did say that these can help you to shield yourself from 5G frequencies. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go to his website. It's holotech.biz. And there he is right there. He's actually got a really cool story, and I'm going to be talking to him soon. And then here is a card, Super Smarty Charms. That's what this is. So check that stuff out. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for sending this to me, these things. I know that there's several other people who said that they've sent things that I haven't gotten yet, and I just want to make sure that you guys are sending it to the correct address. It's important to make sure that you're sending it exactly like that. You can say Red Pill 78 P.O. Box, and then it's 993C, South Santa Fe Avenue, number 245, Vista, California, 92083. All right, so if you send it any other way, it might not get to me. I've had more than a few people tell me that they've sent me things and I never got them. So I just wanted to tell everyone how much I appreciate you guys, sending me these, sending, cards, letters. I've gotten lots of those. And if you've tried to send something and I haven't mentioned it, it's because I haven't gotten it. I also want to just thank everybody for the kind messages that I receive. And I just want to let you know that just because I don't answer, or maybe I've answered and then I haven't answered back later, it doesn't mean that, I don't love you guys or appreciate you for watching the show or for sending me stuff. It's just that I'm a one-man band, and that's not just on the show, that's, in my life. I got a house, I got a couple of kids living here, I got my job, so and I got my animals. Don't forget the animals, they're family. So I'm very, 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 very busy, and I'm, just doing it all on my own. I work 7 days a week, maybe once, maybe twice a month. I try to get away for a couple of days, and I still make videos, during that time. But I just want everybody to know that, it's nothing about you guys. It's everything about, just the way that everything's set up in my life. And that's the kind of stuff we got to deal with when we're raising a family and when we're doing stuff like this, I try to read everybody's messages. Probably 99% of them I do read. That includes the nasty ones. There are people who hate me for what I'm doing, and there are people who, just hate me for, reasons that are probably more to do with them, has nothing to do with me. But I do read your messages, I do appreciate them, and I just want everyone to know that it means a lot to me, whether you're sending stuff in the mail or whether you're sending me messages on Twitter or messages to my email. So thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. I want to thank you very much for joining me. As always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless.